Welcome to Destination Deanna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly coaching gem, where I give guidance to elevate your love experience. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., tune in for Sounds About Wife, where I give my unique wife perspective and prepare professional women like you to become kept wives. So hit that subscribe button and let's start this love journey together. See you soon, my loves. Welcome. Welcome to this week's coaching gem with Deanna. Hi, to those who are new to my channel, I am Deanna, the Kept Wife Strategist. And I would love for you to consider Destination Deanna as your self-help learning library for all things love. We're specifically going to talk about how to prepare yourself for dating and attracting a power partner, a keeper, so that you can elevate your love experience completely. So welcome. And I see my honey. Hey, beautiful. Thank you, baby. I'm so glad you're here. It gives me so much peace and ease to know that I'm supported by my keeper husband. So today's lesson, handling breakups with class, staying feminine through heartbreak. Now, as always, I start with the intention for the lesson, so we can be very clear about what my goal is with this lesson and how I am attempting to support you on your love journey. So today we're diving into how to handle a breakup, like the aspiring kept woman that you are, with grace, with dignity, with femininity. And I'll just say this, I know I have some male supporters. While I titled this and mentioned like staying feminine, there are some general gems in here about just maintaining composure that would behoove you to incorporate into your arsenal for if you are in a situation where there's a breakup, right? So this isn't about ignoring your pain. It's about keeping your class intact, even when situations get messy. Okay. So we are reclaiming our power and not letting someone else's actions dictate our behavior. So that's my intention for this lesson. And I'm also always going to tell you what I'm not doing, so you can be very clear about who I'm not talking to and what I'm not saying with the message. So I'm not here to tell you to pretend everything is fine or to be a doormat and let someone disrespect you. Okay. We're not burying the hurt under like fake smiles and spiritual bypassing. No. And I'm definitely not saying that we should just always be the bigger person in the way that society normally tells women to swallow disrespect. That's definitely not what I'm doing. This is more about honoring yourself in this process and not playing some martyr role. Okay, so I've made that clear. And I just wanted to invite you. This is a heavy lesson. I'm sure you'll have questions. I'm sure you'll want to dig deep. You might want to get some advice for your specific scenario. If that is true, I do a special Q&A every week after I end this live, and it takes place on my Facebook page. So all you need to do is subscribe to my Facebook page. It's Destination Deanna, and you'll get the exclusive Q&A that I do every Monday. In addition to other benefits, there's subscriber only content. There are special, I don't want to call them discounts, but I have special offerings for my subbies. So after the live is over, you can just go ahead to Facebook and subscribe to my channel and you'll get access. Okay. So I always like to start with my experience, right? And my experience lets you know that I'm not talking from some pedestal. I'm not talking from a position of I've never had to deal with a breakup that was challenging, that created an opportunity for me to completely lose my mind and forget about being a classy, well put together feminine woman. I have. When I went through my breakup with my now ex-husband, I really could have gone down a messy road. I could have, right? I could have dragged his name. I could have placed blame. I could have talked about all my grievances, and really let my hurt and disappointment out. I could have done that, right? And I have receipts for things and I had just cause for some things as well. However, I thought about the fact that, for one, we share children, right? And I knew that anything I said or did could end up hurting them, right? And to me, they are innocent. They did not ask to be here. They did not ask for us to parent them. They did not ask for us to get a divorce. They didn't ask for any of that, but it's still a part of their experience. So I wanted to protect their hearts and show them what grace looks like in real life. You know, if I'm out here bad mouthing him, honestly, it just makes me look bad, right? Um, and I also, something that is on my heart to say, and this specifically is for people that might be going through a divorce, just because, and I'll personalize this, okay, because this is the realization I came to. Just because my marriage ended, it didn't mean I had to act like it was never sacred to me, right? Marriage is sacred to me. The bond that I had with him is sacred. I did it with my whole heart, with the best of intentions. And just because we didn't go the long haul and make it to forever, that doesn't mean that I can just throw it all away and act like it never happened, right? My advice is you want to always honor what you had by not dishonoring yourself or the bond when you exit. Okay. So that's my personal share. Hey, Christian. Oh, hey, Jamila. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. So now that you have my experience and I've been through a difficult divorce. Other breakups I've also been through. And I did not always handle them with grace. So I can definitely speak to you and let you know what you should consider, right? What you should consider. And this is our coaching gem. This is the lesson. So if you're going to take notes, now would be the time to do so. Okay. So what to consider? And I'm going to give you 5 specific things for you to consider today in regards to how you can handle breakups with class, right? Remaining feminine throughout heartbreak. So the first thing to think about, to consider, is don't match their energy. How you respond to the situation is key, right? Reacting with hurt or anger only keeps you tied to the negativity, right? So it becomes a barrier for you actually moving on. The energy that you put out is what will carry into your next relationship also. So think of it as like an anchor. If you are reacting and you're dishonoring yourself and you're acting out of hurt and all of that, you're anchoring yourself to the hurt. You're anchoring yourself to that relationship. When really what you want to do is honor the relationship, learn the lessons that were meant for you to learn via that relationship, and move forward into a better one, right? So, studies show that people who hold on to resentment or bitterness often carry that baggage into future relationships. And this is from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. So it's science, it's proven that when you're holding on to the resentment and bitterness, you're guaranteeing that your next relationship is not going to work either. It's going to be built on a foundation of bitterness. And we know you don't want that. So, number 2, emotional maturity wins every time. Every time, right? A breakup doesn't define you, but your actions and how you handle it does. Class, grace, and femininity have nothing to do with suppressing emotions, but everything to do with navigating your emotions in a way that honors you. And let me just plainly say, have you ever seen someone acting out after a breakup and thought to yourself, I could see why that didn't work? I could see why that person wouldn't want to be with them, right? Your reaction is not to think about what has happened to them. You're looking at how they're acting out of character, how they're embarrassing themselves. And you're like, right? It doesn't cause you to sympathize usually. So think about that. Emotional maturity, that's going to win every single time. Number 3, the long-term effects of resentment. Holding on to anger or reacting out of hurt can even affect your health, right? Research shows that prolonged emotional stress can increase your risk for heart disease and high blood pressure. So this is when you're going to see the weight gain. This is when you're going to see people becoming like chronically ill, depressed. That's stemming from, obviously, yes, the hurt, it's difficult, but when you're holding on to resentment and bitterness, that's energy, right? And it's negative energy, and that's taking up space, not in a good way. So you want to consider, what are the long-term effects of my behavior and how I'm handling this? You're agreeing? Yeah. Number 4, I mentioned this a little bit in my share. Children are always watching. If you have children, please remember that they are always observing and absorbing how you handle tough situations. You're teaching them life lessons about how to navigate conflict in relationships. So, how you treat their other parent speaks volumes about how they might handle conflict in relationships when they grow up. So, how do you want them to see you handling it? How do you want them to view you in difficult situations like that? Like when the children are younger, they're obviously not going to understand all of the inner workings of relationships. They're going to understand it at whatever maturity level they're on. But as they grow up, they're going to be able to say, my mom was composed. My mom was respectable. My mom handled things with grace. And now that I'm an adult, I can understand how difficult that must have been. And for my men watching, you want to remain blameless as much as you can. Like, you remain blameless by not lashing out, by not aiming to hurt back, by not holding on to the resentment. And number 5, the final one. Oh, hold on. My honey said that stress can get a hold of you and won't let go if you let it. Yep. It'll just be going on with you. So number 5, specifically for my ladies, femininity and breakups is about balance. It's about balance. Femininity doesn't mean you don't stand up for yourself. It means you choose to act in a way that protects your peace and doesn't compromise your values and the woman that you say you are. You can absolutely express your feelings without dishonoring yourself. Um, One of the quotes, and please forgive me, I try to always give credit to the author or creator of a quote. And I might even be stating this wrong, but it's like, don't raise your voice, improve your argument. So it's like that can be applied in so many different ways, right? You acting out, being loud, fighting fire with fire, that does not clearly show that you're not in the wrong, right? From afar, it just looks like two people arguing. It just looks like two people that are immature. But even if you are in the wrong, if you're composed, if you can carry yourself with grace, that's what people are going to know you for. So you always want to think about that and stop seeing femininity as weakness, as being unable to speak up for yourself. It's not that, but it is about the balance of maintaining composure, the balance of not allowing your hurt to dictate your speech and your behavior. That's absolutely what it is about. Christian, I feel like this is such a grown up conversation. It really is, right? And we would have been so much better off had someone told us this sooner in life. But this is the time for us to dig into these conversations. Absolutely. So now, yeah, it truly is. So now that you know what to consider, right? You want to make sure you don't match their energy. Know that emotional maturity is going to win every time. Consider the long-term effects of resentment. Remember that children are always watching. And remember that femininity in breakups is about balance. Okay? Now, here is what to ask yourself. And I am an avid journaler, visualizer, creator. So I'm always going to lead you on the path of how do you create a better future for yourself? And specifically because I'm the love guide to all, kept wife strategist to those I'm called to serve, my focus is love. I want to guide you on a path that improves your love experience. So these are questions that are self-reflection, so you can use them to meditate on, or you can take it to the next level and actually journal out your thoughts. Okay. And this is what you should consider, right? What to ask yourself. Number one, when I think about my ex, am I focused more on how they hurt me or how I can heal myself? When I think about my ex, am I focused more on how they hurt me or how I can heal myself? Number two, am I reacting out of anger or responding from a place of emotional intelligence? Am I reacting out of anger or responding from a place of emotional intelligence? Number three, if I have children, what example am I setting for them about how to handle breakups? And breakups also are like relationships, disappointments. They're all connected, right? So if I have children, what example am I setting for them about how to handle breakups? Number four, how do I want to feel in the future? Will acting out of hurt bring me closer to that? So this is literally something that you can put into place for your future. How do I want to feel in the future? Do I want to feel angry? Do I want to feel betrayed? Do I want to feel hurt? Do I want to feel sad? Or do I want to feel empowered? Do I want to feel composed, graceful, feminine? Number five, what am I really trying to prove by reacting? Do I feel like I'm losing something if I don't win the breakup? What am I really trying to prove by reacting? Am I trying to prove that I'm right? Am I trying to prove that they're the cause? Am I trying to prove that they hurt me more than I hurt them? Do I feel like I'm losing something if I don't win the breakup? Do I feel like I have to win the public opinion? Do I feel like I have to justify things to others? What am I really trying to prove by reacting? And do I feel like I'm losing something if I don't win the breakup? So that's what you should consider, right? That's what you should ask yourself. Okay. And to bring it all home, what is my coaching gem? Let me check the comments first. I'm like, have I broken up before? Right? It's a real process. Hey, Alice, one of my capties. I was all in boxing with my trials and tribulations and missing the live. I'll check them after and get right back to you. You know, that's my capties. So they got direct access to me in Boxer, and today is their day. So I'm gonna get off this live, do my Q&A, and then get right to Boxer so I can support them. I got you, Alice. I'm coming. So here's the coaching gem, right? Here's the coaching gem. How you carry yourself during a breakup says more about you than it does about your ex. Keep your crown polished. And remember, nothing he does can steal your grace unless you hand it over. All right, so that is the coaching gem. And if you are like me and you get inspired by a lesson and you're like, you know what, I want to dive deeper, I want to take this lesson further. If you know that you are a woman and you are on your feminine journey, I invite you to take advantage of my Find Your Feminine. It is a 6-video self-paced course. And I literally walk you through where you may have lost your connection to your feminine. And I teach you where you can find it, right? I teach you how to define femininity for yourself so you can stop comparing yourself to industry standards, to societal standards. You can learn about some of the core values of femininity and embrace the ones that come to you naturally and learn about the ones that you want to embrace, right? It comes with a digital companion workbook to accompany the lesson so that you can journal about them. You can do activities to really make sure that you're getting the lesson. So if you know that you want to dive into your femininity because you want to be able to react in kind, you want to keep your grace and class intact no matter what's going on, go to destinationdiana.com, click on curriculum, and it has everything in the Keptiverse for you to improve yourself, right? And you'll see the Find Your Feminine course there. All right, so invest in yourself there. And I also go live on Wednesdays. Okay. So tune in Wednesday at 1 p.m. And this is just for my wives and my wives in training. Okay. It sounds about wife. So I'll see you on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Please remember, let me check the comments because y'all be getting your last ones in. You're so, that's a great gem. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yes, and for the Q&A, if someone consistently hurts you in a breakup, is silence the answer? Ooh, I'm gonna answer that in the Q&A. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna talk about that at length. Thank you, honey. If you all want to take advantage and be a part of my live Q&A, give me the opportunity to answer your questions, head on over to Facebook. My page is Destination Diana. Hit subscribe. It's a nominal investment of 99 cents a month. It's just a small investment to say, you know what, I'm focused on this, and Diana, thank you. So head on over. I'm going to start doing the Q&A at 1:30. So you got 5 minutes to go do that. Please remember, right? God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. I love you all, and I'll see you next week or Wednesday for my wives and aspiring wives.